Check out the first autofocus anamorphic lens.
LensVid's coverage of IBC 2024 is brought to you by Small Rig, Big Dreams, and Hollyland, made to inspire.
Hi, we're at IBC 2023 and we're at the Blazar booth and I'm talking to Sarah. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And you have quite a few new products and some that are half new or semi-new or relatively new. So maybe tell us a little bit about, maybe we will start with a little bit of background about the Blazar and then you can tell us about some of the new products.
Sure. So Blazar is the affordable and accessible anamorphic lens company. I don't know if you've heard of Greatjoy before, but that was actually what we used to be called. We did a little Kickstarter. We did the Greatjoy 1.8 times anamorphics, and then we rebranded, and then we became Blazar Lens. And now, back in January, we released our Remus 1.5 times anamorphic lenses, and it was great. They did so well, and everyone who had never been able to shoot anamorphic now is able to just, they're super affordable, $1,000 per lens.
And that line is a full frame apart from, I think you told me before, one lens, which is APS-C or Super 35.
Yeah, so back in January, we released the A set, which was the 45, 65, and 100. And they're all full frame. They're varying T-stops, but most of them are T2. And then we had a bunch of Super 35 users say that they wanted to see the barrel distortion. So we released one Super 35 lens in the Remus line. It is our 35. And now Komodo users can get barrel distortion. But then after that success, we decided to expand on the Remus line. We introduced recently the B set, which is the 50, 85, and 125. And now, excitingly, we have released the widest focal length, which is our 33 millimeter.
Yeah, 23, right?
33. It's a 33. So it's not a 35, it's a 33, just not to confuse it with our Super 35. But the 33 is our widest focal length. It is a T1.8 and it has the closest focus in the series. It's 0.49 meters actually. So it's pretty close.
Yeah, one of the problems with anamorphic is that you usually, at least in the past, wouldn't be able to focus relatively closely.
Right, right. So you don't need diopters this time. So we're really excited about the 33, and you can add that on to either set. And so that's what we're showing off here. But then apart from the Remus, we are about to launch our 2 times anamorphic lens, full frame. Actually, the lightest full frame lens, 2 times anamorphic lenses on the market. They're called the Catos, and they're releasing in October. After all this time, it took our engineers a while to perfect it. We have the 40, the 55, the 85, and the 125. And then we've decided to pursue a new route. And in the spirit of our brand, keeping it affordable and accessible, we are going to introduce the world's first autofocus anamorphic lens, which is what I have here. We have 2 focal lengths, but we're calling the series the Apex. And you can see in the design that it looks like a Blazar lens, but we have a few little indicators that it is an autofocus lens. So the Apex series, we have 2 focal lengths. We have the 35 and the 50. They are both a T1.8. They are Super 35. Okay. And then they are a 1.33 times D-squeeze. But when you put it on your camera, you might think that it is actually a little more. It looks like a 1.5, and I can't tell you our secrets, but I think users will be really happy because this autofocus is going to be awesome.
This is still a prototype and a work in progress. I think you told me that currently this is going to be in E-mount.
Yes.
And L-mount, I think that this was only confirmed really recently.
Really recently. So we had been working on getting L-mount, and so we are confirmed today. We are going to do L-mount. We are going to do E-mount. We are going to do Z-mount, and we're going to do X-mount. We are working on getting RF mount.
That's after Canon, yeah.
But we hope that they'll let us, because I think RF mount would be a great addition to this. Yeah. The world's first autofocus anamorphic lens. And just another little thing about it, if you don't like autofocusing all the time, you can switch it. So you can go back to manual focus and it will just free up this and it will be easy.
Let me ask you something. This is the first, we talked about this before, the first autofocus anamorphic lens. What was basically, we think, the reason why so far there weren't any autofocus anamorphic lenses on the market?
There were a few things that were barriers into this endeavor. So the first thing is this crazy? Are we really going to do the world's first anamorphic autofocus lens, and do people want this? Hopefully yes. But the second thing is it took us a while to do, because now instead of just relying solely on the optical performance of the lens, engineers need to consider the limitations of the camera systems as well.
And this is going to might be an issue, and it depends on the camera and how much it is integrated with the manufacturer.
Yes, absolutely. Which luckily on all of our autofocus lenses, no matter the mount, we have a USB-C port. So you'll be able to update the lens if you need to after a firmware update on the camera. So hopefully we'll be able to
even if there might be some issues in some situations, maybe in the future, a camera manufacturer will release an update and then you can update the lens as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we just want like the maximum compatibility with no issues.
Yeah.
So it is a prototype. Right now, we're working to make it better with tracking faces. It is APS-C sensor coverage, so don't use it with your full frame lenses. I think the edges on the very edge, if you do try to stretch it a little bit, it's gonna not focus very well, but you should not use it on full frame cameras yet.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
If you use it on a full frame in an APS-C mode or Super 55 mode, there should be
no issues. Yeah. No issues there. Yeah. So yeah, we're hoping to get this out by Christmas. It would be really nice.
And I'm not sure if you can say anything about pricing yet.
All right. Well, all I can say is we are always affordable.
Yeah.
And so you can
expect this to also be
affordable. Yeah. And I'll say, like around the same price as the Remus.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Who knows?
But yeah, but that in that sort of direction. Yeah. Okay, we'll take some, I think, B-roll if you didn't do it so far of just playing with this a little bit.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Make sure to check out more videos on lensvid.com from IBC. See you in the next video.